Okay, hey there. This is Derek McDaniel. I'm just out here in my garage today, and I want to show you what I call the smoke pocket stove. Pocket because it's small, but also because of the way it recirculates the smoke inside. There's like a pocket. There's no vents on top. Okay, here is the stove design. We don't have it running right now, but as you can see, there's two air intakes. What you do is you fill it with some oil just below these air intakes, but that's quite a bit of oil and it'll burn for a while. Um, so you have two intakes and then a larger window. This window I made, it was initially way too big. And to get this stove to burn more cleanly, what you want to do is make the window smaller, because what happens is if the window's bigger, then you can get more air for the initial burn. And then because the smoke doesn't have anywhere to escape except out the front, a good deal of the smoke is going to get trapped up here and just recirculate back into the flame and get a second chance to burn. So if it is smoking a lot, you'll get air intake here and some air intake in the window and then it'll exhaust air out here. But if it is smoking a lot, then you make this window a little smaller. Um, there's like a tab here that I try closing back off. But what that does is that limits the size of the initial burn, and then it will burn a lot more cleanly. That smoke, it'll produce less smoke, and then the smoke will be able to combust. But yeah, a lot of the times with those oil stoves, one issue that they have is they will start out pretty small, and then as they heat up, as the oil heats up, they'll start smoking a lot. But what this stove regulates that pretty well, because it ends up burning off as much smoke as there's limited air in the initial burn. So you end up with a good balance of smoke. And when you run it, it doesn't put off a whole ton of smoke. Now, that first design was from a can. I have a very similar model from these aluminum cooking trays you can buy. So this was the first model I made. I have some twist ties in back, but it opens up. It's not clear to me. If you can see, all that soot and smoke is on the inside, and very little came out through the exhaust here. So it looks to be working really quite well. There's our wick. It's not clear to me whether it's better to have the wick near the front or the back. I would think near the front, so all the smoke coming towards the exit gets another chance to burn. But yeah, so you just close this off, and it's okay that it doesn't completely seal. That serves as the first air intake for the primary burn. Then you just have this little window, and that's enough. And then you can use a third one as a cooking tray, and it's like perfectly balanced. This is a nice, easy cooking setup. Great for cooking eggs in. You can use these. You could reuse them. You can use them as disposable cooking trays. So that way, these were real cheap. They were like $5 for $1 or something. So yeah, it's gonna be a great uh, impromptu cooking setup, and I really like the design here.